Once upon a time, in the snowy forests of Norway, there lived a king and queen. And that king and queen, they were rich. They were so rich they had everything they could possibly want, except for one thing, and that was the one thing they really wished for above all else. One morning the king and queen were eating breakfast, and the servants had brought their favourite breakfast, which was waffles, strawberry jam and goat cheese, but they weren't eating anything, they were just looking totally miserable. Suddenly, through the doorway, out into the snowy forest, a little baby rat came scampering in. And the servants rushed up and shooed it out, but the queen ran after it, and she knelt down onto the snow, and she took a piece of waffle with strawberry jam and gave it to the little rat. And the little rat took it in its paws and began to nibble away. "Oh, my darling," said the queen, "if only this little rat could be our child, how happy I would be." But the little rat looked up at the king and twinkled its eyes with its long eyelashes, and there was only one thing the king could say, and that was, "Why, of course, my dear, what a marvellous idea! Why haven't we thought of this before?" And so the royal tailor took his smallest needle and began to sew little princess dresses for the tiny rat. And the royal teacher began to teach her how to speak. Et tre, a tree, said the princess. Very good. Snö, snow. The princess was learning so fast, and soon she was trespråklig. She could speak Norwegian, English, and of course rat. Well, the royal builder took his axe and hacked a great hole in the front of the palace and put out a dear little balcony. And every Thursday the young princess would put on her prettiest dress, a little golden crown and her white gloves, and go out onto the balcony and wave at everybody, and everybody cheered and laughed and waved back. She was very popular. Well, one evening the king and queen came to say goodnight to her as usual, and the queen suddenly burst out and said, "My dear, you're growing so fast, and soon it will be time for you to get married." And the little rat princess, she sat up in bed and she said, "Mummy and Daddy, you must know that if I'm to marry, I must marry the most powerful man in the whole world." "Why, certainly," said the king. "Do you know this man?" "Yes," she said. "It's the sun. The sun shines down on us every single day, and without him we would be nothing." "Consider yourself engaged," said the king. And so the next morning the little rat princess, she put on a little rat bikini and she went out onto her balcony to sun herself in the rays of her new boyfriend. Well, to find out more about this relationship, you will need to get yourself a present. It's quite a nice present. It's full of stories of people who live with animals or birds, big birds, little birds, who live in thunder and in snow. People who live with each other.